Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. And it's a gorgeous morning to go for a run, and I'm wearing my Seahawks shirt, so I'm going to make Lori really happy. She loves it whenever I wear anything Seahawk. You know, I've been thinking over the last little while about experiences that we recall in our lives. Those that we call recollections. But experiences that we feel, we call memories. And last week, I had a great memory. My Uncle Floyd passed away. My Uncle Floyd is the last sibling of my father's family. So it's a generation that's gone, and myself and three of my brothers, we made sure that we were there to honor him. Now, he had a wonderful life, and lots of people stood up and talked about the impact that he had made for them. He was kind and caring and hardworking, athletic, and just loved people and loved the game of baseball. He played for the Boston Red Sox, but most of his career was with the St. Louis Cardinals. And it was interrupted by his service in the Marine Corps. And all of that was represented in the funeral. Now, it was a Catholic service, and so Catholic services have rich rituals, a lot of rituals. And so it was a little different for me. But I really enjoyed it and was really grateful the way that they presented it. And so during the funeral, of course, we had the rituals, and then they also, they put holy water on the urn. And the urn was covered in a military look, and it was beautiful. And then the Marines came out, and they folded the flag and gave it to Estelle. And through all of that, and family talked, we got up and told some stories and laughed. That's the kind of an experience that I'll recall. It may not be a memory that brought the feeling. You've all been to funerals. How many funerals have you been to? Those that bring feeling usually are family members that are really close or people that are very special, or something happens there that brings out that emotion. Well, something did happen unexpectedly that brought out the emotion for the entire room. Everybody that was there in that chapel. The priest got up and was concluding the funeral when a city worker walked up to the front of the room and said, "Excuse me, Father, I have something to say." And the priest just stepped back, and this city worker came up and takes out a piece of paper, and before he started reading, he said, "I am compelled to come up here and talk about Floyd Brower. I'm compelled to come up here and talk to him because of what he meant to my life. I loved baseball. He loved baseball. And we talked about baseball, and we talked about how baseball, the game of baseball, is a great metaphor for life, the similarities of it." And then he started reading from this paper. It was so eloquent, I had to ask him if he was the one that wrote it. He confessed that no, it was written by a man by the name of Tom Egelhoff back in 2012. And it was called Baseball, the only sport that reflects real life. So here's a little bit of what he said. Here's a little bit of what he read. He said, "Baseball, like life, has no clock, no time limit or sudden death overtime." Never thought about that before. It's the one sport that really has no clock. You know there is an end to the game, but never exactly when, just like life. You might be way behind in the score, given a death sentence, but can rally and come back and survive another inning or even win in the end. In baseball, like life, we often fight the hardest in the last inning of the game. In baseball, like life, you get multiple chances to succeed. During 9 innings, you should get at least 4 at-bats. And every at-bat, you get 4 balls, 3 strikes, and a whole bunch of foul balls. I think it is very interesting if you fail to hit safely. 70% of the time, you can end up in the Hall of Fame. As in life, we often have many more failures than successes. But in baseball, like life, it's those failures that make us better and stronger to be a competitor the next day. The story goes on to compare life, baseball, to sacrifice, to umpires, and to control. When he concluded, he said, "Thank you very much." He folded up his paper and walked back and sat down. The priest then went on to conclude the funeral. He grabbed the urn, picked it up, and had the two priests alongside of him. And as they started to walk down the aisle, I don't know if this was orchestrated or not, all of a sudden the organ started playing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." You know the song. I'm not a singer, but take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. I could not sing it without crying. The emotion was so strong. And it really made me think about my own funeral. What do I want people to sing at my own funeral to bring that kind of feeling into it? And the audience just automatically did it. We probably sang it two or three times. Memories, recollections. Let's build more memories, shall we? Let's look for those special moments that we can add feeling to them. Name them. This is a baseball moment for us now. We'll link it to Uncle Floyd forever. And so this take me out to the baseball game moments, hopefully we have more of those in our lives. And it's given us a language that we can actually use. Look for those meaningful moments. Look for those meaningful moments that bring feeling to you. Life is a wonderful thing. Cherish it. Thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.